Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be reading the Earth class notes written by the 12th Apostle on paradox. I don't recall using this word in an Earth class, and never as a class, because of its subjective meaning and misunderstanding. Therefore, its rare concept cries for distinction and recognition in the expression of truth, revealing the difference between theory and principle, reason and logic, opinion and proof, idea and concept, invention and discovery, and hate and love, just to name 6 differences, which is the number of man on altered earth. But when each word is added, you have 12, which is the legal number for decision. And when the second final word in each comparison is specifically understood, believed, and acted upon, you have a true legal conclusion for each responsible human soul to obtain and decide about every subject on earth that may appear at first to be a paradox or even a déjà vu in the experience of the human soul's quest to learn the truth that can and will set them free. You see, beloved, I don't use many short sentences and painting word pictures to increase your understanding in your temporal classroom and school of hard knocks on altered earth. But in the context that I've just shared with you, I'll now ask you a very short question. What is the greatest paradox ever? What is the greatest paradox in heaven and earth? The answer is the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, once for all, forever. That was the worst possible thing that could happen to any human soul born on earth, that Jesus nor God ever planned. They did not predestinate or want to happen, for Jesus would not have prayed for an impossible answer to his most desperate prayer that caused him to fall on the ground and pray that if it were possible, the hour of his crucifixion, the hour might pass from him. Mark 14:35. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was, as it were, great drops of blood falling down to the ground. Luke 22:44. But the great love of our one and only great God turned that terrible torment within the mortal body of his only begotten beloved Son, Jesus. He turned that into the greatest good for every human, angel, and animal of all time in the 3 deaths of Jesus in the last 3 hours of mortal time of his crucifixion, from 12 noon until 3 p.m., where he died spiritually and in his perfect sinless soul for all the consequences of all sins of all humans of all time, and in his mortal body that was crucified between 2 convicted thieves, with the one on the right side rebuking the one on the left for railing against Jesus. For the one on the right side actually knew and believed who and what Jesus was, as Dr. Luke knew from his experience in interviews with the eyewitnesses and ministers of this word of truth. Luke 1:2 and Luke 23:39 through 43. Beloved, you understand and know that it would be very difficult to know any of this truth if it were not written, copied many times by specially trained scribes, and translated into the most superior language the true descendants of Israel have developed, the English language, that of the King of England, King James, who placed his approval upon in the 7 years as it was worked upon, from 1604 to 1611 AD, using copies of the Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek manuscripts. And you, beloved, understand and know that God and Jesus did not write the Bible as so many sincere people believe, but you also understand, know, and believe that our belief does not prove the truth, but the truth can and will prove our belief, beginning with the basic reality conflict between good and evil, to the new heavens and everything in between. So you see how the concept of paradox can be used for good by the great unlimited soul of God and humanity, who sovereignly chooses to do so through the greatest power there is, that of love. Also consider the fact that Jesus paid for and forgave all the people who crucified him, proven by his prayer. Then said Jesus, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Luke 23:34. But Jesus paid for so very much more in his crucifixion and death, such as the legal right that Lucifer could claim, not just to the kingdoms of this evil world order that he had established and previously offered to Jesus, but the potential ownership of the earth and the rest of the visible universe that he had changed and was the rightful first heir to claim it all, that of which he could give all to Jesus, not as Jacob, who traded his food for his twin brother Esau's birthright as the firstborn twin, but as a gift to Jesus. If Jesus would simply say that Lucifer, Satan the slanderer, the devil deceiver, was the rightful heir to everything that Lucifer thought in his limited reason would place him equal with God. Luke 4:1-8. These are the powerful, paradoxical comparisons that I don't think you'll ever forget. Thank you so much for giving me something so priceless, your time. Until next time.